Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. Today, I'm your host, Alan, and we are delighted that you have chosen to join us on this fall morning to be with us today. And you're going to love it here because we are all about including people, and we are a diverse and open and affirmative community. So, let me tell you a little bit about who we are. We are a spiritual community based on the New Thought teachings and based on the teachings of Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a writer in the early 20th century, and he combined all of the wisdom from various traditions and spiritual paths and created a fresh, new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into this world. So, and we are all connected in spirit. And it doesn't matter if you call God spirit, love, peace, but whatever you call it, it is the power that resides within you and within each and every one of us. And that makes us all special and unique. And our purpose here is to help you find your own special uniqueness and to feel empowered to share it out with the world. So, and you can be yourself. You don't have to leave your philosophy of nature of knowledge, because we like everybody here. It doesn't matter, and we also use different spiritual traditions and religious scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Tao Te Ching, and other various sources, just to name only a few, because everybody has something unique to offer, just like each and every one of us. And I and also our vision here is to be able to live this new thought teaching, and to fully embody it, to create spiritual leaders that can share and embody this teaching, and we also to help you grow in body, mind, and spirit, because it is all a package deal, and that's what Reverend Rosedale is going to talk about today, about how our spiritual practices are a package deal to help us grow in every aspect of our lives. So, and another way to treat yourself is I invite you to go to our weekly Tuesday night consciousness meetings at 6 p.m. And there you'll be in a small supportive group, and you'll really get to experience that for yourself. So before I introduce our speaker today, I would like to share a quote. And it's also, this quote is more for me as well, because it's easy to kind of get lazy and settle when you don't have to. Right? If you don't have a spiritual practice in place when times are good, you can't expect to suddenly develop one during a moment of crisis. And that is by Douglas Copeland. And I'll share that again to make sure to really let those words sink in. If you don't have a spiritual practice in place when times are good, you can't expect to suddenly develop one during a moment of crisis. And I would like to leave you with that thought as I pass the microphone to our fabulous, radiant Reverend Rosedale Jones.
Alan, my right hand man. You could not have said a better thing than that. You have not. And how do you know what I was going to say? You took the words out. You always do that without even talking to me. So thank you, everyone, for being here. And thank you to our fabulous MC, my right hand man, Alan Lilly. So to all of our YouTube listeners, wherever you are in this world, when you hear this day's service of this day, you know you're welcome just based on the way Alan brought you in to make you feel good. So welcome. So this is the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. We have thousands of these centers across the country. We are in Charlotte. And this is also the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. So we acknowledge this month because every month there's another culture popping up something. So right now we're acknowledging the Hindu heritage this month for their deep spiritual culture and their principles. Now Hinduism is powerful, and I love it because that's what I was raised on in when I was getting my master's. Hinduism teaches us the importance of harmony in all life, which Alan so nicely and eloquently stated. It helps us in our inner journey to discover the true nature. This is what spirituality does for us if we pay attention to it, and the interconnectedness of all beings. And this morning, I'm telling you, every time I'm getting ready to talk to you about something, things happen to show me what it's all about. To this morning with you, Melissa, I'm telling you, everything is about that deep connection to that spiritual practice within each and every one of us. If you're still in it, it's working. So this is so powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. That hit it. So anyway, here we go. Let's go into this thing. The first thing we do at CSL Charlotte is we open up to set our tone, we open up with a spiritual affirmative prayer. So she's going to do that to set the tone to get us right in the mind. So this is our emeritus spiritual practitioner in the yellow, Maureen Thurston, aka Mo. And she's going to set our tone. And you're going to listen to her prayer because it's all about the best of spiritual practice is what we're talking about. You'll hear in her prayer whether she dabbles in the best of spiritual practice because she proved that this morning with Melissa. And if you want to learn a prayer about how to do that, just ask us, what do I do to get the best of spiritual practice? All you have to do is go to our website right now, put it in, subscribe, and you can request that, and Mo will send it right on over to you. But here's the thing. You have to request. You have to want to. You have to make that choice to put in that prayer request. So with that, Mo, please let it rip.
There's no pressure there. Good morning, everyone. And so as we open up this time of celebration with Reverend Rosedale and CSL Charlotte, I know that this service touches each and every one of us with what is ours to hear, that we are filled to the brim with the love that comes from this amazing community. I know that as Reverend Rosedale shares her words of wisdom with us today, that we do so with an open heart, with an open mind, and with love for each and every one of us that are here. We surround each other, we surround this service with light, love, and pure potentiality. So as I release this into that state of law, I know that it is already manifesting within each and every one of our lives at this moment in time, and will continue throughout the day and the week. So as I release and I let go, I let God, and I invite you to lock this in for yourself along with me by just simply affirming, and so it is.
And so it is. Okay. All right, Mo, powerful. Thank you so much for bringing it in. You put all my cells, you woke them up and you brightened them up and put the light in me with that color today. It's really a beautiful color. So next on our platform is our reader, Jerry Campbell, aka Groovy G. Now she and I go way back to the days of California. My newness, my my novice Rosedale, a new Rosedale, a different Rosedale, but nonetheless, we met back there. And we met during things, and I just happened to mention that to her today about vision. So here's the deal. It's when she came here, she's been that person. Lots of questions. Got to know more. Got to know more. I knew the more questions you're going to ask, the more you're going to get your answer. And so she just deeper and deeper she gets it. So it's obvious to me that she knows the best of spiritual practice. So and she knows what it means to her. So listen to her reading today, and you'll come to understand that the best in spiritual practice is in you. So after Groovy's reading, listen to the song One Power, and that's by Daniel Nahmod. So prepare yourself for learning the best of spiritual practice today, and Groovy, make it do what it do.
Good morning, everyone. It is so good and such an honor to be here to share a reading written by Rosedale Jones. The title is It's All in the Practice. The power of spiritual practices as a means to manifest positive outcomes in our lives sparks our interest enough for us to engage in them. It involves recognizing a divine power that resides within us, is expressing itself through us, as us. By tapping into the inner spirit of God and aligning our thoughts confidently, we can create practices to guide us toward our desired outcomes. Spiritual practices are like mental visioning. We engage all our senses, sight, hearing, smell, and emotions to envision our goals. Seeing it metaphorically linked to visioning, and we learn to fully use all of our senses. Exploring the various names of God and understanding how this spirit operates within us transforms our approach to life and its challenges. This fuels growth, transformation, and prosperity in areas of our lives. Our inner spirit is also referred to by many names, such as spirit, universe, source energy, God, and the power within. Consider this a fresh perspective on spirituality and manifestation. Spiritual practices fascinate, motivate, and inspire you to engage in more mindful practices. Be mindful of your daydreams and whether you are living on the love or fear side at any given time. Then choose a spiritual practice to make a change toward transformation and personal growth. As you allow your body to be guided by your mind, everything in your spiritual practices manifests in your physical realm. This happens because you are constantly crafting your thoughts as prototypes in the spirit realm. Be mindful of the thoughts you express and repeatedly tell yourself and others. Remember, the stories you tell the most create the life you live. The following is a quote from Reverend Rosedale Jones. When we vividly imagine our desired outcomes, the brain interprets this mindful practice as an authentic experience. Therefore, our desires must show up. And so it is.
On heaven's door, it's Muhammad. It's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's music. It's in each and every one of our bodies. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your whole body just go down with it. It's like your skin is chocolate or just melting off of your skeleton. That's the peace that you're going to have today, right here, because you need to get that time for that peace. So we're going to take a short centering and relax our eyes or just basically look into our laps. It's your choice. And as you breathe out and as you breathe in, know that that breath in is to expand your awareness, and that exhale out is to relax you in that awareness. Because you see, the song One Power beautifully depicts the best of spiritual practice. Because that power within us is guided by how we focus our minds. It's not something that's going to guide us somewhere or do something for us. There's nobody up there in the sky, this white man with a white beard saying, you were good, you're going to get this. It's a power, it's an energy. And if we focus our minds in it, that energy travels to do what we have our mind focused on. There's nothing guiding us and playing poker with us and playing chess. Don't work like that. So when we decide to focus on prosperity long enough, we become prosperous. So the key is to recognize that you and the power are one, as the song One Power really portrays for us. So the longer we see and feel it, the more we experience the best of spiritual practice. So deepen your practice and recognize when you are working with the best of spiritual practice. And it's your choice. But I have one question. Is it time? Is it time? See, you got to make that choice. Is it time for you to experience the best of spiritual practice yet? Well, it's your choice. And whether you choose to incorporate these spiritual practices in order to start using the best of spiritual practice for yourself is all on you. So just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and then let your eyes float back up into your space first and look around your space to see what in here can bring me back to the present moment. Allow something in your space to connect you back to the present moment. And at that same time, I'm going to take a gratitude moment and say, wow, my Alan, thank you, my brother. He is the man. I'm telling you, he really takes good care of me, guys. Y'all know that. From the time we started in 2020, he's been there for me. Thank you for that beautiful MCing. And thank you, Mo. She's been with me way back in Colorado days, San Diego days, ministerial school, then the master's, everything. She's been back there. And then thank you, Groovy, for that fabulous reading, because you read that passage I wrote, and so explicitly it would sound like you wrote it. That's so beautiful, because you know what you read really truly points the way to the best of spiritual practice. So what can I tell you but thank you, guys. This is not a one-man band. So, in the realm of spirituality, here's what I know: spiritual practice is at the root of growth and transformation. Now, I remember back in the day, while I was still working as the youth officer out there in Queens many, many years ago, I used to wonder, how can I get these children to stop running away from home, to stop selling drugs, to stop doing all the things they were doing? But I did not know this is what I was doing. Get it? I keep telling you, I had no idea, but I do know I was being led. So I would make these little wonderful meditation tapes for them to get them to listen to them. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know that but I knew that it would calm you down because it calmed me down. So all that time I was doing spiritual practices, I tell you, for years. So you don't have to know you're doing them. Just know that. So it's not something that you got to get in your thing and act like a big old scientist, but when you learn more about it, it operates, oh my God, it operates as the foundation for your training of your mind. That's what helped me to train my mind. So that peace, that quiet, that breathing, that helped me reproduce all those visions that I had in my mind to be. I always wanted to evolve with the world, get my new realities whenever I need them. See, spiritual practice is crafted by our imagination. And what it does, it imprints on our mind. Now, our mind is not just in our head. Our mind is in our entire body. And they're definitely being imprinted in our minds and our ideas. And it imprints memory, history. So by writing, by using audio, by using video, or any memorization method that you can come up with, your and my ideas are imprinted on our mind. Every single organ in our body is a mind of spirit. Every single heartbeat that we have is the mind that we were invented before we even thought. We were in the conception of our mother's womb. But here's what I know. When I focus on my ideas long enough, this is all research. This is nothing to do with I just think I'll just do this. Now that I realize, I know I was picked. You're picked, but you just are not ready to see it yet, but maybe you are. How do I know what you're ready for? See, I manifest these ideas in my life, and I'm so well aware of it when I think about it long enough. What about you? Are you willing to develop a keen sense to manifest your ideas in your life? See, because spiritual practice is really, really needed. And you know when it's needed most? When you've been invited to come out to eat dinner with a group of people every now and then, and your reply is, I can't afford it. Well, you know what? Spiritual practice is needed at that time. What I know is all I need is a positive idea in my memory. And in order for me to push out those little fleeting thoughts like you can't, you might, oh, that won't. No, 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 no. Wait a minute. Boom. I got to get out of there and push you somewhere else because I have to continue to manifest in my world. I cannot manifest in my world if I let that bog me down. Can't afford it. Huh? That's what the best of spiritual practice is all about for me. Besides, research, not statistics. I can't stand those things, statistics. You know what statistics mean? They just mean that some arbitrarily guy or girl decided to just write numbers and say 50,000 whites did this. And this. No, no, no. These people, the research that I'm doing is peer reviewed. We're actually using real human beings to come up with these things. So this is what research shows. It shows that fleeting thoughts that we have don't last long enough to imprint. So therefore, don't worry about it. So when you say, oh, if I said that, does that mean it's going to happen? No. Remember, when you focus long enough, that's one of the major spiritual practices we want to make sure we remember. Now, I did a meta-analysis search, and through I got to slow it down here. You know how I do with the psychological science. Okay, there's a journal, the Psychological Science Journal, and what they found in the people they did the studies with was that mindfulness and meditation actually improves our attention, our focus, and our cognitive performance. Well, oh my God, man, we can really, you don't have to have dementia. Stop thinking about that. Thinking, literally. You know, it also contributes to a better this way of us making decisions. And guess what else? When you can do all of that, when you can focus well, when you can have a great cognitive performance going on in you, guess what? You can create a satisfying life. Or let's put it this way, life satisfaction. The good news is fleeting thoughts do not serve us, that do not serve us, cannot manifest long enough. Because we don't spend enough time in those fleeting thoughts. But when you see something or you hear something, keep it for a moment and remind yourself. It's amazing. See, I'm in the habit of my spiritual practice, and I do it every single morning. See, I'm clear that when I focus on whatever it is, it's always been my choice. So I can allow it to go down the road while I could say, I remember this argument I had with so-and-so, and I can remember this fight I had. I could stay there if I want to, but that's ridiculous. But see, I'm creating. See, we could create life without even knowing we're creating it, but you're creating it. It's yours. You're doing it. So make a choice to choose spiritual practice on purpose because you're doing it anyway. See, it's crucial to think, to speak, to write in the present tense when you're doing a spiritual practice. See, if your desire is, I'm going skiing next week, you write it in the present tense by, Melissa and I are out there on the thing, whatever it is, the slope, and we are just on that thing, and you just imagining it. You're just allowing your mind to go with it. And I'm seeing it in the present moment. See, the best of spiritual practice is this. The mind doesn't know what's true or not. So if you're going to start telling yourself you're a loser, the mind doesn't know it's true. Here you go. Boop. If you're going to remind yourself that everybody that comes around you is great and they love you and they're real legitimate with you, boop, you got that. Visualizing is what you say, feel, and hear. If you can do that on a daily basis and continue to remember that, whoa, what have you got to lose by looking for the best of spiritual practice. See, we need to experience the best of spiritual practice in order to train the mind. Did I say that? In order to train the mind. Gotta train the mind. And what that information, if you heard all that information, do you think that it's important right now for you to understand the best of spiritual practice yet? See, the advantage that the mind cannot distinguish the truth is the truth. Listen to me again. It's an advantage when we could say, boom, I want this. And you continue, and you got it. I don't want this. And you can continue to not want it. You got it. If you say you're a loser, you got it. So why not take the advantage that since it can't distinguish the truth, that I might as well keep trying to make what I want to be true in my mind and really see that instead of the sad or the depressing things or the things that I think don't really work for me. That's why I emphasize using our imagination in our classes. You ultimately manifest what you speak, what you visualize, what you write, what you see. If I sit there and I continuously watch a certain show in YouTube that's talking about certain things that I really like, and I keep thinking about it repeatedly, it becomes exactly the way I want. Repetition, repetition, repetition is the mother of skill. So whether you decide to use these particular spiritual practices like a journal, Horace and I are always talking and he's doing his gratitude journal every night. He's writing the 10 things down. Me, I like writing this thing called A Day in the Life, where I would say, well, I'm telling you, I say things like, I would love to see how so-and-so's doing. And then I imagine me and that person, being whatever, friends or whatever it is. And boom, it just happens because it's not just happening now. It happens justly. Things don't just happen. They happen justly. On the mind, now you might not be doing it in a devious way, so don't try that one because you're going to have a devious life. So don't play crazy games with yourself. They're all written. Everything that you do, everything that you think is written and spoken and visualized in the present moment. No matter if you're reading, I have to say it over and over and over because repetition is the mother of skill. So things manifest in our lives because repetition. We got repetitive practices. Spiritual practice is repetitive. It needs to be done every day. Watch this. Don't you have to eat every day? Don't you need to drink water every day? Don't you need to breathe? Do you need to beat your heart? Come on. It's automatic. So we all have played and dabbled. Now you know you're practicing. You're already doing it. So why not do it on purpose? We have all played a part in this transformative world. We've seen ourselves transform as into these spiritual practices. We've seen it. We've done it all our lives, and we continue to do it. And then, hey, listen to your stories that you tell. And here's some of your stories. Well, the reason why I can't, and the reason why I don't, and the reason why I stop, those are your stories. And guess what? The mind believes you. And the mind's going to do just what you said and feel. Spiritual practice is a way to engage our senses so that we can recreate our life at any given moment when we choose. Now, let me just tell you another thing. Sometimes I could be driving down the road, minding my business, and I could remember an argument I had with my mom. And then I start going down the road and remember, and then I should have said this, and oh yeah, ridiculous. Then all of a sudden my mind catches me and says, what are you doing? She's dead. I'm serious, literally. So I start laughing and I could see her sitting next to me, laughing at me going, girl, you silly. because that's exactly what I always was, silly. So I know. So just remember, these things, when you're doing these practices, they engage your sight, your sound, your smell, your touch, even your emotions, all of this stuff, because it is, I think Alan said that. It's in the mind, body, spirit integration. We got to have these three things. That's all I know, guys. I keep saying it. I don't know nothing else. All I know is this connection between my mind, my body, and my spirit keeps me alive and evolving and keeping going up. We are 100% in control. But we were trained not to think so. So in my reading that Groovy wrote, I wrote that Groovy read. The power of spiritual practices as a means to manifest positive outcomes in our lives, it really sparks our interest enough to get us to engage in them. See, the word seeing is metaphorically linked to spiritual practices as what? Visioning. So you can either be a person who's auditory, where you hear, you can be a person who's visual, you can even be a person who's kinesthetic, who feels through the heart, through the emotions or whatever. But that's what you would do. You'll say, did you hear that? Did you hear what I said? Well, that is metaphorically linked to visioning. So if you hear me, you saw. We ain't going too long because this is not a class, right? All we have to do is allow ourselves to thoroughly use our own senses to see. So over the years, I have matured with this powerful mindset that I have today. And you can do the same. It's not like, oh, no, I took my time out, I took my life, and I decided to do it because I wanted to go deeper and and I still want to go deeper because I want to know more about me. And this is what supports and empowers me, and to know for a fact, oh no, that's not me. Somebody would say, well, menopause, Rosedale. Oh no, I don't do menopause. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not doing that. It's not there for me. It's not in the stars. It starts with the sound. Most of the stuff that happens in my life, it starts with me seeing all the beautiful things that I have seen. I've got my two daughters, love them dearly. I've done all of these great things. I got these great grandsons. I got all these beautiful stuff, and I have my first great grandchild who's a 1 year and a half. And it's just remember. But then I start thinking about all that great stuff. But it all started with spiritual practice, me keeping my mind focused on what's right for me, not what's right for society. And then I got this sound, beautiful business. And when you have that, remember this, everybody's selling something. Whether it's food, whether it's clothes, whether it's ideas, whether it's houses, I don't care. Me, I sell spiritual health and wellness. And I remind myself this one thing, because people say, well, I didn't want to ask to tell them I do this because I don't want them to think I want their money. But you know what? I know this here. I remind myself that effective selling, listen to this one, Alan, is not just about taking people's money, it's about giving them value. So me combining spiritual practice with physical exercises, with nutrition, with my real actual science research that I'm doing for people, I'm actually offering a deeper, more integrated experience for them. That's what real effective selling is about. So if you can sell something good to somebody, then you should have no fear about being compensated for it. So when people invest their money in me and working with me, they gain things. And I feel proud of myself for that. And it enhances their lives. So what about you? What do you do that can enhance your life and other people? Now, truly, people are going to learn about that mind, body, spirit connection because I use the best of spiritual practice to make things happen in my life and in theirs. So now let's go on and look at this. Listen to this last thing that I want to talk about. That's this higher love. In order for us to really understand what really love is, we have to love ourselves enough to do that exercise, to love ourselves enough to eat, to figure out why is it okay to eat that and not okay to eat that. But I don't have to not eat the wrong, you know, you don't have to starve yourself, but you just got to say, okay, today I'm going to pig out. I'll get out. When I get on vacation, I'm going to do whatever. When I go home, I know, take the action for the best outcome. You like your body? My body prompts my mind that you're taking good care of yourself, you know? And then I begin to understand that you're in the best of spiritual practice, because spiritual practice plus action are the key components for my best outcome, and yours too, depending on what it is. You know, we all like different things, and we all have the power to do different things. So be prompted by your mind and let it do things. But now, when you're creating your spiritual practices, just remember that. Just take time every day and let your desire come in and get bigger and see yourself with it. Remember, the reason why you don't have something is because you don't see yourself with it. And that is the best of spiritual practice. So what we know is when you going for that higher love, you get the best of spiritual practice. So I want you to listen to this next song called Higher Love, and you will see and listen to those girls' words as they talk about moving into that higher love. Oh, yes, guys. You heard her saying that there must be a higher love because it's for real and it's true. See, without the higher love, what did she say? We're just wasting time. And that higher love is the love of self. So that's the deal about the best of spiritual practice. So anyway, thank you, Horace the Bush. This is the time we talk about birthdays. And, you know, this is the day we came to be. Period. Dot. And if you can't respect that, then you need to check up from the neck up. All right? You got to know this is the day I came to be. I don't miss a birthday for myself. Now, if I miss somebody's birthday, I'm gonna do especially if I love them. I love almost everybody, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna let you know, okay, be happy. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate today. You didn't tell me about it last week. Because that's the day you came to be. Our ancestors literally lived so we could be here. Just saying. I'm not going to say no more about it. This the day you came to be, and mine is November 21st. It's coming soon, guys, and you know you're going to hear about mine. So anyway, that's the way it goes. Now, I just got to give my big shout out to the team. So good morning, everybody. And hey, Alan, powerful, powerful, powerful MCing this morning. And oh my God, Horace, the announcements, bam, bam, bam. Oh, you just rocked it all the way across. I understood exactly. You don't even have to hear the whole talk to know what happened when you do the MC, and this is beautiful. Opening, closing prayer, boom. Setting the tone, Mo. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, she's the bomb. Boom. Right? That was just awesome, man. And then Groovy, reading that message to all of us. It was like she was talking straight to me. You know, Groovy is to me, is our spiritual harmony steward. And what she does is she keeps things clean during the production time. There's not going to be too much interruptions or distractions or whatever. And Mo made sure she put her birthday in there. You go, Mo, but we knew you. Well, February 22nd is her birthday. Okay, how about that? Okay, and so that's beautiful, you know. And so Alan and the music, love you. You know, I don't do this by myself. That's why I gotta tell folks, you guys, you know, you rock. You know, you the rock of this place. And so thank you so much. So guys, if you're out there, ladies and girls, guys and kids, if you're out there right now today on YouTube and you're looking at this recording, just know you were here today in spirit. Okay. So with that being said, we got somebody very special, Melissa Spiegler. Now, Melissa came with, she's the spotlighter, she's the greeter, but Melissa is the person, one of the people that have pushed to open this community long ago when I wasn't even thinking about being a founder of Charlotte because I was moved to Florida at first. But when I was with her in California, all I did was do my little visioning. When I got it, I came back to Charlotte after all. You know, what are you going to do? But Melissa was one of those people who got there and said, well, I'm just figuring this thing out. Well, because we couldn't open up because of COVID. So we could not do anything. So the powerful thing was she said, I don't know anything about Zoom, but we're going to make this happen. I knew nothing about Zoom, and we're going to make this happen. So all I know is that visioning with another partner helps so well. So Melissa was another one who was being with me, but she's in the background today. But usually she's out there because she's a reader too. So that said, I just had to bring you in the fold there, Melissa. So, and Mo, I got to thank you also for always being on that line to make sure that somebody's putting in a prayer request, you're sending it back out there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I think I got everybody, Alan, right? Mm-hmm. So and I'm just going to shout out to JT and Timmy P, because they're out there, and I got nicknames for everybody. You know I'm a New Yorker, right? I can't just call you by your real name. But anyway, they're out there and they're enjoying life. They'll be back in the middle of November. So all of us are out there in the world doing what we do. Okay, so I made sure I talked about each and every one of us. So before the last song, I want you to consider this. Today was about inspiring us to experience the best of spiritual practice. So remember, it's time to get the best of spiritual practice when your story is, I can't afford it, I don't know how, I can't da 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 da. Okay? Remember that. The best of spiritual practice is all you need to do if you want to change that, transform and grow. Get a new mindset. Get a new mindset. And now, before we close up, you're really going to come to love your new life experience, because you got to remember, you conquer life. Life doesn't conquer you. We are a conqueror. And if you can believe that, oh my God, this song that's about to come up is going to make you understand you don't accept defeat because you're a conqueror. You got to hear my man and my girl now. I love this couple. And you got to let them hear, you got to hear their words. So let's take on the words. I am a conqueror by the Empire Cast. Everyone's counting you out. Oh, but where are they now? Yes, you know. Look, listen, how about this? I am no, I like this. Try telling me no. One thing about me is what I am, is I am a conqueror. So guys, you always get to hear my voice every day. I mean, every Sunday you get to hear me sing. So you like that? Okay, cool, good. So as we wrap up our time together today, guys, before we wrap up our time together, after the Conqueror, you know what that last song does to me every single time. It really gets me wrapped up for the week. We got to bring in the closing prayer to really seal us all in for the week. So Mo, please make sure you pray us out.
Thank you, Reverend Rosedale, for your wonderful message from today. I know that as each and every one of us go into our week, that we carry with us this amazing community, the words of wisdom of Reverend Rosedale and what she has shared with us today. I know that we go gracefully and easily into each and every day, knowing that we are divine expressions of the God within, that each and every one of us always comes from our heart in everything that we do. So as we close out this service today with light, love, and humor, as always, we release, we let go, we let God, and call it done and blessed as each of us are, and so it is.
All right, and
I
so
say,
it is. Ashe. Amen and Ashe. Good. So, I think we kind of hit it all off, huh? I think everything was said that needed to be said for October 20th. And I also know it's time to wrap it up. So let's practice this week. Practice to get into the best of spiritual practices because you want to use, remember that first song? You want to use that one power within this week to practice and get some results. But because when you are that conqueror and you got that higher love, you don't accept defeat because you got that love for you and also that conqueror stuff. You better be one, and don't let people tell you you're not, because that's when you know you're in the best of spiritual practice, when you don't accept defeat. So remember, the universe is constantly supporting you on your journey, and until we meet again, let's stay happy and let's remember to be grateful for everything we got, and so it is.